I think many people around the world believe in ghosts. Something that ghosts, are the soul of death. People who haven't, moved on. I think.
Do you believe in
What?
that?
what no, I don't believe that. But I'm talking about the people in the worldwide. Because there is who's people that believe in ghosts. Maybe while others, see them that as a spiritual or supernatural energy. So
I
believe
feel
in.
like that's just an intellectual issue. You don't have
Yeah, it
like
depends on the
enough
on
knowledge.
culture. Yeah, it depends on culture, religious, or and personal experience. Some people say they've seen or felt them, while others think it's just imagination or fear.
Yeah, I mean, like your experiences are based on what you believe mainly. If, for example, I hear like a noise in the door, if I don't believe in ghosts, then I think, oh, that's the wind. But if I believe in ghosts, oh, that's a ghost trying to enter the room or some stuff. So it's really like your belief shapes what you think of reality. So it's like the
Yeah.
experiences that those people think they have experienced are like mainly based on what they have thought their whole lives.
Hmm. But there is a person is he tried to relate that in Islam, but believe in ghosts as the soul of death. Maybe human renewing the earth is not supported. However, Islam teaches that there are unseen being called al jinn, if you know it, created from smoke or smokeless fire. So some people might mistake jinn for ghosts. Yeah.
Well,
But according to
yeah.
Islam, when a
Mm.
person dies, their soul goes to barzakh. Okay, which mean a waiting place before the day of judgment. The soul does not return to the world to maybe hunt people. Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe in
Yeah, but
jinn?
yeah.
Hmm.
Do you believe in jinn?
I don't believe in that, but yeah, some maybe. But to be honest, in Quran, it's something that we read it in Quran. Jinn, I think something exists. You know,
If you
because
believe in Islam, then you do believe in jinn because it's
yeah,
something very clear that they do exist in
yeah.
like in terms of the religion of Islam.
Mm, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yes,
strange or supernatural event are often explained by the prisons or the prison of jinn, not ghosts. Yeah, but some people
Well,
are maybe see it as the same, but they are not.
I mean, it's in theory, it's the same thing. It's just giving it different names and different like beliefs. It is believing that there is something like supernatural going on, something that we can't see and we can't interact with, but it's also like it sees us. It has the same characteristics, but it just different namings.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. Do you see that there is a difference between them, or they are the same? Because the jinn is a real creature created by Allah from, but ghost is maybe on the other hand are a believer, a believed, in other culture to be the soul of death people that comes back to earth. But Islam rejects this idea.
We don't care
But
what
you,
Islam accepts or rejects. So do you, like we don't think it's real. Islam thinks it's real, but that doesn't mean it's real.
you do realize that the religion, like all religions, like Islam, Christianity, and all other religions are mainly a belief. You do believe in them. There is nothing that makes them real except of your belief in them. Uh, it's like you can't. If I ask you now, like prove to me that Islam is real, like you have no real proof. Like you'll come with stories, like stories from the Quran, stories that people told, or like stories that people experienced, but you have no real something that we can like experiment with and say, oh, all right, this is real. Like it's just a belief. So you have to realize, and all religions are just that. They are just a belief. So like saying jinn is real because it's in Islam, that's really you're saying it's real because I believe in it. That's really what it is.
So do you see that Islam is not real? And
It is
people
a
can,
belief.
Yes, it's real.
but I think maybe he doesn't believe in that. Maybe he sees that maybe just Islam is, you can't prove it that Islam is real. Yeah. But many Muslims, believe that Islam is real and true because of several, maybe strong spiritual, historical, and
Khalid,
maybe
Khalid,
scientific, proofs. Yeah.
Khalid, you're speaking as if we're tourists on this planet.
No,
We didn't come
No,
from another
no.
planet, okay? Yeah,
He just mentioned.
yeah. He mentioned something that we know, obviously. That's
No,
obvious
we
that
try just to speak, to discuss,
I'm.
sober. We are
This is
not.
not a discussion. I'm sorry, that's not a discussion. So yeah, Islam is a religion. We know that, and people believe in many things in Islam. We know that. Okay, no need to repeat that.
I don't repeat that, bro.
You repeat that. You repeat something very obvious. Well, what about you? Do you believe in ghosts, jinns?
You talk about my.
Yeah, I'm
You
talking
ask
to
me.
you. I don't want to talk
Yeah,
about people who
I
are not
believe in
here.
jinn. I believe in jinn, but I
Why?
don't believe in ghosts.
Okay, why do you believe in jinn?
Yeah, because I just mentioned that something is, we read it in Quran.
Okay, but that doesn't mean something is true just because it's in a book.
Hmm.
So it's only in the book that we can see. Like when we read other books, we read the books, but that doesn't mean every story is true in a book, right? If we can see those things only in the books, then why we should think it's real? Have you ever seen a jinn before?
I don't see it,
I also didn't
but
see.
we see people that suffer from jinn.
How do you know that they suffer from jinn?
Yeah,
How do you
because
know they suffer from the jinn?
yeah, because I think all maybe because it's diagnosed by and Allah that gives us some proofs that maybe jinn in
Oh,
this
Khaled,
existence.
Khaled, when you go to hospital, the doctor say, "Oh, this is about jinn. This is because of jinn,
Yeah,
and take this pill."
yeah, I know that maybe
Yeah.
there is some mental health and maybe something that maybe is diagnosed by doctor as a disease, but sometimes even doctor can't maybe know what's going
Oh,
on.
doctor doesn't know what is the disease. Therefore, it's jinn.
No, he
Okay,
doesn't say that.
then why are speaking about something that doctors don't know? Our topic is
Yeah,
jinn,
because
and
sometimes he because doctors sometimes I know that I believe in
I just said, man, I just
sci-
mentioned if doctors don't know something, that doesn't mean it's a jinn. Why are you talking about it?
no, I'm not talking like that, but sometimes I'm talking about the mental health. Okay.
It's mentioned is all that happen. It's permission from Allah. It's called mass.
You didn't
It may
prove.
Yeah,
be
mass. Yeah.
You didn't.
it may be black magic or envy or it's a type of jinn can influence on the human.
How do you know
Yeah.
that they are real?
I'm gonna say something. If you talk just maybe just because we read it in Quran, we can prove that. For example, belief in jinn is it's not only based on faith, but
Oh,
are also supported by logical,
I don't see
ex-
any logical explanation right now from you. Well,
okay.
what's the
So
logical explanation?
about a human experience, for example,
Human.
across culture from Arabic to African to Asia, people have described similar experience and explain it, voice, movement, and or position. This
fainting,
is
some severe anxiety, sudden extremely changes that can happen, psychological issues, medical issues.
People have psychological problems, therefore genes are real. Doesn't follow logically.
Not
That's not logic,
not
okay?
in this case, not like
what
this
about
case.
historical records?
And like they're not
Extreme.
reliable. I'm sorry.
Reliable, okay, or behavior maybe, or behavior like some people who experience position or hunting show maybe physical strength or knowledge they couldn't know they have, things that maybe
Some
sign.
mental problems can also appear like physical,
Okay.
behaviors. They can
what,
change physical behaviors, but that doesn't mean there is another invisible creature causing that. You can't claim
what
that,
about
okay?
scientific, even
So,
in the
so
modern psychology
hey
or
man, if I
Mhm.
say Parkinson is not a disease, it's another type of possession by another creature, not jinn, not ghost. I'll call it CG, okay?
Mhm.
Like, and that's a new creature that you don't know, and that creature possesses people and it causes Parkinson.
Mhm. But yeah, but I'm gonna prove
And
it in
you
another
know,
way.
you can see the
Mhm.
changes in the behavior, right? Like when you look at a person, you know that
Mhm.
it's a Parkinson, right? You understand that.
Mhm.
It's a
So
disease.
no, it's not like technically it's not like a disease. I mean, it's the possession of CG that I mentioned. It's another creature. You guys don't know it, but in my religion, we have those creatures, and I know that it's not like jinns. It's not like ghosts. So
But yeah,
they cause Parkinson.
but they didn't maybe mention, even in modern psychology or physics science admit there are a dimension of maybe existence we can't yet
Maybe,
see or
maybe
measure.
we are not here for maybes. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not talking about
You
maybe.
said maybe.
Yeah, bro, I think you just maybe try to maybe I don't know investigate about
Yeah, I'm
the trick.
investigating, but people are not giving me good evidence. They just speculate things and they say maybe, like you. So do you
Maybe
have
I
good
don't know.
evidence for jinns?
I just proved that,
You didn't. You didn't. I just proved you that you can create any kind of creature of imagination in your mind by doing so. Like I created another creature and I
But
explained
based
to you, I gave you evidence for that.
yeah, and I give you as well. From based
Human.
on human experience,
So now
historical
you believe
record.
that now you believe that Parkinson is not a normal disease.
Wait,
It's the
Saber, wait,
possession of another creature.
wait,
That's what you
wait,
believe right
Saber.
now?
No, wait, Saber. You just asked me if there is something that you can prove it rather than Quran. I just mentioned that human experience, historical records,
Yeah,
behavior, science.
Parkinson is also human experience. Do you understand that?
What?
Parkinson is also human experience.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay, therefore, those creatures that I called CG, do you think they're real?
what's it?
Oh,
Could
you
you
were not
break it
even
down?
listening at all. I
No, could
gave
you? No, no,
you
no,
an
no, no.
example. So
Can you
Could
write
you?
it
I said that CG, okay?
can you write it in chat to search about it?
You don't need to search, man. I'm giving you evidence about
I
that.
don't no, I don't have.
I'm giving you evidence about that. So my claim is Parkinson is not a normal disease. It's a condition caused by the possession of the person by those creatures. Like their name is CG, okay? And when people are possessed by those creatures, They're invisible, okay? Like jinns and ghosts. They cause Parkinson. And you can see that, but you can observe that also, right? People have Parkinson. So therefore, these creatures are real? Yes or no? It's a simple thing to understand. The answer
I
is
don't know, but
no.
I see.
The
No,
answer
I
is
see.
no. The
Probably
answer
you
is
are
no. So when you see
out of the
people
box.
behave in a way, that doesn't mean it's because of a jinn or because of a ghost. There are a lot of mental diseases, okay? Again, like people change their behaviors even, but you don't have to relate them to something invisible outside of the body. You can't do that. You don't have any right to do that. When you don't understand something, it doesn't mean because of an invisible creature, okay?
Mm.
That doesn't
But
follow logically.
no, I follow you that logically, but you just want to prove that we are wrong, and
No,
you've
no,
been
no, no,
no.
it's not about you're wrong.
uh,
Even if there's a chance that you're right, I don't see any good evidence to believe that you're right.
because you from the beginning you see that it's wrong.
No,
You
it's
don't believe
no,
in that.
false, Khalid, stop lying, okay?
Okay.
It's not like I'm not trying to prove that you're wrong. I'm trying to prove that you don't have any good evidence to prove that it is right.
I gave that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
That
Based, you said that based, rather than Quran, try to prove it that it's correct. I said that from, for example, historical records, stories of
yeah,
unseen being appears in many civilization. The Romans called, I don't know, the genie. The Greeks spoke, demons, and in old, European tradition, they were, spirits. So this consistency over centuries and across culture point to a uncommon or a common phenomenon and
um,
based on scientific confidence.
why the
Okay,
hell
okay.
you ignore like what we learn also about human brain, human psychology? Like, do you know about hallucinations? Do you know, like, have you heard anything called hallucination?
Hallucinations.
Yeah, so we humans have those properties also, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah. But it's
yeah,
something that it's yeah.
yeah. I've
But
seen a
this
dinosaur.
yeah, no, no,
I've
no,
seen a
no.
dinosaur. No, don't say no. You don't know me. Okay,
I
I've seen a dinosaur, but I was too sleepy, too tired. I was walking for many hours, many
mm,
days. I started seeing objects that wasn't there. I knew that it was not real because, like, there's no such a thing, right? Right now,
yeah, but
dinosaurs are not
it's
the
it's
real
another
thing.
thing,
So it
another
no,
issue.
it proves that
Yeah,
your brain can mess up.
yeah, you can
Right?
yeah,
We know that. When we know that, then it doesn't matter what people tell throughout the history because we know that human brain can misfunction. Okay? So when we know that, then you don't have to rely on those stories.
yeah, but it can happen, due to the mental illness, lack of sleep, stress, or drugs. It's not the same as gin, for
How do they know
example.
that? How do they know it's
Yeah,
not the same?
yeah, because it's not the same,
How
bro.
do they know it's not the same? You just repeat yourself, but you don't give evidence.
Because based on scientific, you see that
Science doesn't
hallucination,
doesn't science doesn't prove any jinns, any soul, any spirit.
but they prove that hallucination is illness, based on maybe
Okay.
psychological or mental health.
Okay, so then why you don't think that those people are mentally ill?
Yeah, sober, you're not gonna maybe
why you don't
or
think
not.
then?
You try just to, I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Why what?
Yeah.
Man, like I'm just asking questions based on what you say. You say that like it's a mental disease, so that means you know that people might have mental diseases, and if that's the case, then why you trust people what they say? It might be false if they have mental diseases. If they don't have mental diseases, yeah, maybe it's true what they said, maybe. But we don't have good evidence for the other side. We have very good evidence for mental diseases, right? Let's
Mm-hmm.
let's make a comparison. We have great evidence for mental diseases, but we don't have great evidence for ghosts. So when it happens to someone, when someone tells such a story, okay, the spooky story, which one is most likely? Either the person has some mental issues or it was real. Which one is more likely?
Could you say it again?
Okay, we have very good evidence for mental diseases, but we don't have very good evidence for ghosts. When someone claims that he had seen a ghost, which one is more likely? Like
But I said that that maybe jinn, her real unseen being, created by Allah.
maybe
Yeah,
based on
yeah.
what? What's the
But
evidence for that?
no, I didn't see maybe. But hallucination, as you just mentioned, it's a false sensory experience created by the mind.
Yeah, and we have evidence for that, but we don't have evidence for jinn.
I said it, jinn exists independently of a human.
How do they know that this is the claim, this is not the evidence? How do they know that they exist?
Ya Allah. Yeah.
This is the claim, yeah. They exist is the claim. What's the evidence for that? And when you don't have answer, you're saying, "Yeah, Allah."
No, because it's going to interact with human if Allah allows.
It's going to interact again. Like, how do you know that they exist in the first place?